Sammy the Snail woke up. It was a bright, sunny morning. He felt something strange. Something was missing.
"Where is my shell?" Sammy cried. He looked around. No shell anywhere.
Sammy felt scared. He needed his shell to feel safe. Sammy decided to go on an adventure to find it.
"I must find my shell," Sammy said bravely. He started to slither away. It was slow going without his shell. Sammy knew he had a long journey ahead. He just hoped he could find his shell soon.
Sammy crawled and crawled. He felt very tired. Suddenly, he saw a flash of red. A ladybug landed beside him.
"Hello," said the ladybug. "My name is Max. What's wrong?"
"I lost my shell," said Sammy sadly. "I'm going on an adventure to find it."
Max smiled kindly.
"Don't worry, Sammy. I'll help you find your shell. 2 sets of eyes are better than 1.
Sammy felt a little bit better. He was happy to have Max's help. They set off together, determined to find Sammy's shell. Sammy and Max walked for a long time. They came to a rushing river. The water was loud and scary.
"Oh no," said Sammy. "How will we get across?" Sammy was scared of the water. It seemed so big and powerful.
"Don't worry," said Max. "I have an idea." Max flew up above the river. He looked around for a way across.
Sammy waited nervously. He hoped Max would find a solution. Just then they heard a grumpy voice.
"What are you doing here?" A caterpillar sat on a leaf, munching on a juicy green leaf. He looked cross. "This is my leaf and you're blocking my sun."
"We need to get across the river," said Max politely. "Can you help us?"
"Cross the river," scoffed Bernie. "Why would I want to do that? I'm quite comfortable here, thank you very much." Bernie took another huge bite of his leaf. He didn't seem very helpful at all.
"Look, a fallen twig. It's making a bridge across the river."
Sammy looked closer. Max was right, but the twig was high above them.
"How will we reach it?"
"We can climb. Follow me."
Max flew up to a tall blade of grass. Sammy started to climb, but it was hard work. The grass was slippery, and he almost fell several times.
"This is too hard."
Sammy said, feeling defeated. He looked down. The ground seemed so far away. Sammy felt scared. Suddenly, Bernie appeared beside them. He had crawled down from his leaf.
"Move over."
He grumbled, but there was a twinkle in his eye. Bernie used his strong legs to bend the blade of grass. He bent it all the way down to the twig bridge.
"Wow, Bernie, thank you."
He was amazed. Bernie had helped them, even though he had seemed grumpy at first. Sammy realized that looks can be deceiving.
"Don't mention it."
He started to crawl across the twig bridge. Max and Sammy followed close behind. They were finally crossing the river. Sammy, Max, and Bernie reached the other side of the river. They were all relieved.
"That was close."
Said Max, his little voice shaking a little. Suddenly, a shadow fell over them. A large bird swooped down from the sky. It had its eyes on Sammy.
"Watch out."
Shouted Max. Sammy didn't have his shell to protect him. He didn't know what to do. The bird was getting closer.
"Quick, hide under this leaf."
Bernie yelled. He had spotted a large leaf nearby. Sammy and Max rushed under the leaf just in time. The bird swooped down and missed them by an inch. Sammy, Max, and Bernie stayed under the leaf until the bird was gone. They were all safe.
"Thank you for saving me."
Sammy said to Bernie gratefully. He realized that Bernie was a good friend, even if he pretended to be grumpy.
"We need to keep moving. The sooner we find your shell, the better."
They continued on their journey. Soon, they came to a beautiful garden. There were flowers of every color imaginable.
"This garden is beautiful,"
said Sammy, his spirits lifting. The sweet scent of the flowers filled the air. Sammy felt a surge of hope. Maybe he would find his shell in this beautiful place. Sammy, Max, and Bernie walked amongst the flowers. They searched high and low for Sammy's shell. Suddenly, Sammy stopped. He couldn't believe his eyes. There, nestled beside a patch of bright blue forget-me-nots, was his shell.
"My shell!"
shouted Sammy. He was overjoyed. He rushed over and snuggled back into his shell. It felt so good to be back in his safe and cozy home. Sammy felt like himself again.
"You found it. I knew you would."
Exclaimed Max. He flew around Sammy's head in excitement. Bernie was also smiling. He was happy for Sammy, even if he didn't say it out loud. Sammy, Max, and Bernie sat together in the garden. They were all exhausted from their adventure, but they were also happy. Sammy had found his shell, and he had made 2 new friends along the way.
Thank you for helping me find my shell. I couldn't have done it without you.
He really meant it. He had learned that even the smallest creature can achieve great things with the help of friends.
Anytime, Sammy.
Said Max. He nudged Sammy playfully with his wing. Bernie just nodded, but there was a smile hidden beneath his gruff exterior. Sammy knew that he had found true friends in Max and Bernie. They had faced challenges together, and their friendship had only grown stronger. Sammy knew that they would be friends forever.